Welcome back to Nine's Friday Night Footy, and this man is one in demand here. All the kids, they want a signature of Zach Lomax because you have just broken a Dragons record, 32 points in one game. That is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, it was, I didn't have to do too much, to be honest, Danica. I just had to catch and put the ball down, really. Those are, I guess, the boys are outstanding. I mean, to come out in the second half and I guess the performance that the team put on in the second half, it was one hell of a turnaround. And yeah, to do it in front of a stadium here down in Wollongong and our fans, it was unbelievable. You
now hold the record for the club for the most points scored in a game. Do you know how much that you actually beat the record by?
Nah, not particular.
10 points.
Oh, gee. Okay.
You did. You did
yeah,
an almighty job.
I didn't have to do too much. Let's call the ball pulled down, really.
What's it like for yourself backing up? It's been such a big week. Obviously, your major State of Origin debut, a huge emotional match for you on Wednesday night, a great performance as well for yourself. And then backing up here tonight and putting on a display like that, you must be just riding this wave of adrenaline right now.
Yeah, I guess, Danica, I haven't sort of had too much time to think about it. I mean, I've still got all my family and that here and at home, and they all come down. And you know, I guess a small country town in Temora, there was obviously a lot of people there on Wednesday night and here tonight as well. So, you know, I'm super thankful that I've got such a great support network at home and family and friends and obviously community back home. So, it's just so good to see how much it means to them too. So, and you know, to top it off with a good win here tonight, it's yeah, super humbling.
What about the body? How was it backing up?
I had some serious head noise here in the first half. As you could probably tell, I was down on my haunches fairly often. So, but to get 2 points here, we definitely needed that. So, you know, super stoked. I thought everyone individually played outstanding tonight.
A great performance for the team to put on a scoreline like that. How do you feel the Dragons are tracking at the moment? Obviously, you're coming off a great win the side had over Penrith last week as well. How do you feel, and where do you feel the club's at?
Yeah, I think we're going really good. I think we're moving. I guess obviously through the Origin period, we lost Big Sewer and obviously Benny Hunt, our skipper. So I mean, they were some big losses as well. Going into Penrith, obviously they had a few people out, but Penrith have showed time and time again that they can just perform with their class players out. So you know, to get a win last week was outstanding, and to do it this week was, you know, I guess we've got a bit of a longer turnaround this week, so we'll be ready to go come next week.
What's the plan this week? Rest, recover, get some sleep.
Hopefully, Flano gives me maybe a day or two off. So who knows? I mean, I dare say those would be looking for a day off. So hopefully I can tag along with him.
I think it's fair to say you probably deserve it, so go and enjoy this one.
Thank you. Thanks, Danica. Thanks so much.
James, back to you.
Thanks, Danica. Man of the moment, Zach Lomax. As far as St George Illawarra is concerned, the most goals in a match, he's 10 from 10, and the most points scored by St George Illawarra player, 32 points there for the Origin standout for New South Wales and their loss to Queensland the other night. Good to have your company here on Golden Point. Gal, Joey and JT to have a look at it all. JT, hard to wrap the head around the fact that it was 14-12 the way of the Tigers at the break before the floodgates opened for them. So.
Yeah, and they scored just before half-time too, so the confidence should have been up. But as they were saying on commentary, once they start making an error, they compound it with another error. And with this young side, they just don't have the mental toughness to be able to defend their try line. So they got a lot of work to do, the Tigers, but they are a young side and they need that experience. It's sort of like the Broncos a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when they were getting pumped by 50.
I think being that young too, you need your senior players to stand up and play well. And when you look at their senior players, Olam had a shocker. You know, Stefano was relatively unsighted. Coruscant tried his guts out, but I mean, he's a hooker. He can't do much less the forwards going forward. Alex 12, relatively unsighted. So, I mean, and that's better all the senior players they got. The rest of their blokes are young kids getting their careers started, and I worry for a few of them. Right? Look, to me, they're going backwards. And I look at guys like Dream Blow, Lockie Galvin, and I just wonder this week in, week out getting pumped. Like it's going to take a toll on them. I mean, they're turning up the game. I don't know what their mentality is when they're turning up. Obviously, today they turned up good. They had some good moments in the first 15 minutes. They completed really well, and I said that before the game. If they can complete their sets, give themselves a chance. But when they start making errors, as JD said, they just keep compounding them. It's like they've got no fallback plan where they just take 4 or 5 dummy half runs, just get through a set, get a good kick downfield and start again. they're constantly trying to move the ball and play footy, and they just haven't got the ability to do it at the moment. Look, when things go wrong for them, they go really wrong, and obviously in defence, they haven't got a lot of resilience at all.
Andrew, back in your day, backing up from Origin, you clearly do, so we look at the one side.
400 tackles at 211, double the metres gained. Like it's like men versus boys in that second half. I felt sorry for the Tigers. They look like boys. They really did in the second half.
The backup factor. Obviously, when your teammates see the likes of them, say you, BK, Gids coming back into the team, we saw it tonight with 3 Dragons.
Yeah.
That lifts the side, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Considering some of the states we used to turn up and train in. Well, when we used to win the other days.
But this guy tonight...
Mate, he's just a champion. I'll go to JT. Just tell us about in and around camp, what he's like, the way he prepares, the way he trains.
Yeah, the ultimate professional with everything that he does. Wakes up very early. He's an early riser. Gets all his pre-ab done before training starts. And yeah, good bloke to be around. Pretty much G's up all the boys as well, so he's got that cheekiness about him as well, which is what you need in your halfback. So yeah, his last few years at an Origin level and certainly playing 7 for the Dragons is exactly what they need.
I can vaguely remember a period where they were hammering him. He wasn't in great form. But the last sort of 12 months, even a bit longer, he's been in career best form. He just competes hard. He's as tough as they come.
You know, I think a lot of it was, Joe, is when he left. He had that moment in the grand final when he was a bit younger. We dropped that ball in the grand final. Then he signed a huge deal with the Dragons. Like the money was crazy, and it's sort of, I don't know if it's $1 million, but it was up around that sort of mark. It was probably the first player that hit that mark. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation on him. When he went to the Dragons, they didn't perform. And as you know, when you're a player on that sort of money and you're a halfback, you know, a lot of it falls back on you, and he had to cop a fair bit of that. But to his credit, he copped it, put up with it, never gave in, kept playing for Queensland, and now he's playing really good footy. He's got a decent team around him now. He's got a good coach. I mean, they won 5 games all year last year, the Dragons. They've won 7 games already. So he must be really enjoying himself this year.
And he's earned that beer, hair of the dog for him, actually.
How many Origins would he be getting up around mid-20s?
He'd have to be around 20. He'd have to be around 20, wouldn't he?
Sure, actually.
He'd have to be something around 20.
Middo's in the car.
But
we'll get him to dial in.
He gets to Origin. I don't think he would have played much halfback at Origin level, would he? Maybe just played dummy half.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show his resilience. He goes from playing halfback at Clubland and goes and plays dummy half, makes 50 tackles, or he plays off the bench, him and Harry, but then turns up tonight after, a day's rest and does that.